Come on now, killer.
Well, now you may think I'm fooling for the foolish things I do. You may wonder how come I love you when you get on my nerves like you do. Well, baby, you know you bug me. Ain't no secret about that. But come on over here and love me, baby. I'll show you where it's at. Honey, it ain't your money. Baby, I got plenty of that. I love you.
Hello. I love that song. Bruce wrote it. Him and Jerry putting it together. I love that song. Anyway, glad to have you here. I decided to put together a little video here, obviously, for about possibility of making your own love jugs. Love jugs are cooling units, 2 fans hung on the side of a Harley Davidson, blowing air over the heads and cooling the jugs. I've had some experience with it. Recently, a friend of mine met in Tennessee, and we spent a week there. I put on about 2,800 miles, and the temperature was well over 96 degrees the whole week we were there. He has these mounted on his road glide, and he had no problems at all with heat over there, yet I, on my road glide, had a few more than one problems. The engine was just not happy with the temperatures, and with the high mileage and the temperatures, it was starting to bug me. Anyway, these units run, he paid $450 installed on his bike. And thinking out, I thought, well, they're really great, but how often am I really going to be in a situation like this where I'm putting huge mileage on a motorcycle in very hot conditions in a week? But anyway, when I got back, I started looking into them, see what was available, whether there's any other brand or anything that was available, maybe cheaper price. As I started looking into it, I realized there's not a whole lot to these units. The major thing is the fans, and I found out these are nothing but computer fans, albeit computer fans suited for the situation. That's what they are. I looked at the material. Luckily, in my area, there's a salvage yard that carries just absolutely everything. And they had stainless steel there, and I thought, well, I'm going to probably try to make mine out of stainless steel. So I bought some material, and it ran me $67. And I've calculated out that I'd probably have enough material there to make 5 of these units if I should ever decide to make more than one. So material-wise, it's very cheap. I mean, we're talking, what, $15, not even that per unit. So, like I say, I decided to make it out of stainless steel. That's probably going to create a little bit more problems, and it is a little bit more problematic machining it, cutting it, drilling it, that type of thing. But that's what I wanted, just for because they're stainless steel. I don't have to powder coat them, I have to paint them, I don't have to do anything. I'll buff them up and they'll be there. If you would want to make them out of aluminum, or you want to make them out of mild steel, you'll make them out of wood, I guess. There's really no reason you couldn't. It probably could depend on what you have available, what you feel free with machining, what you feel free working with. They'll determine that. All of them are more than suitable for these units. You're not talking a lot of weight that's going to be added here, so maybe steel's going to be a little bit heavier, but I don't think it's going to be a problem either way. So what I want to show you is not how to weld, how to bolt, how to do any of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to show you the parts I've come up with, how I came upon these parts, how I worked them up, and most specifically the fans that I've found that are more than suitable for this application. It took me some time to dig these out on the internet, so maybe if nothing else, I'll save you a little time when it comes to looking up what kind of fans to use and what size. So let's get on with it. I started out, I thought 4-inch would be sufficient for these fans, and I bought this 4-inch piece of stainless steel pipe, started buffing it up a little bit, but I realized that this is going to only hold an 80 millimeter fan. Uh, I couldn't find a fan that really was putting out enough CFM to make me happy. I love Jugs. I believe say they do about 80 cubic feet per minute. And the biggest one I could find at the time was about 60, 70. So I wanted something a little bit bigger. So at the time I decided to go a little bit bigger, and I went into a 5-inch stainless steel pipe. And this will hold a 120 millimeter fan. All right. I cut 2 of these sleeves out of that piece of pipe, buffed them up some. I will buff them up more after I weld everything, but this is what the fan will go into to sit on the side of the engine. I obviously needed some kind of grid or something on the outside of these things, and at the same place I got this. It's a stainless steel mesh. It's not a welded mesh, so if you move it, it twists, which made it a little problematic in getting a disc cut out of this. So in case anybody runs into this, I actually made 2 half-inch ply discs. I have a lathe, so I was able to cut these on a lathe. And what I did was laminate that mesh, a square piece of it, between these, screwed them together, held it tight, and then took a 4.5-inch grinder around this, trimmed it up good, then put it on my belt sander and trimmed it up a little bit more. Not really cutting into the wood, but maintaining the shape in that. And when I brought it out, they came out quite nicely, and easy way to do it. And so I came up with these little grids for the front. I also wanted some rings retaining rings to back up this. So I had to cut those. And what I actually did is I do a lot of woodwork, so I have a lot of old carbide blades around. These are all stainless steel, so I actually put it on a lathe. This is a 5/8 inch hole, so I put a 5-inch bolt in it, mounted my lathe, and cut these out with a carbide bit. I wouldn't recommend that. It took me some time and effort to do that. I now have a plasma cutter, and if I had to do another one, that's exactly what I do. I can either put this on something, mount it, have the plasma cutter cut it, or I can put a template on it and cut around and cut the inside. And I think that would save me oodles of time, effort, and plus this thing spinning on my lathe with all these carbide teeth made me a little nervous, I'll be frank with you. So anyway, I cut out 4 of these rings, and the uppermost one I will stick in here, weld it in, and then tack my mesh here behind it. With that, then this is where I'll mount my fan in behind here once this is all done. And I will take another mounting ring, put it in there, measure it out so that I can put maybe 3 screw holes around here, evenly spaced. Tap it, put 3 bolts or screws in there to hold this ring in place behind it, solidly against the fan to hold it in. Because I plan on making the fan so it sits in there very snugly. I don't plan on putting anything. I guess you could put a dab of JV weld in corners or something to hold it in there firmly, but I plan on taking my time and sand these out, and I'll show you so that they fit in there snugly. There's obviously a need to mount this whole thing once you're done to the motorcycle. This is a horn mount, and this is where these are mounted off my Harley Road Glide. This mounts on a bolt, indents in where the horn mounts to it. I couldn't use this unless I actually took a piece of steel, bended it to clear the things. I didn't want to get involved with that since I'm using stainless. And so when I thought I'd replace this, and I made a straight mount with the same hole patterns and that, and I thought, well, I'm going to use this and mount it straight across. I still didn't, when I put my piece across, there still really wasn't enough clearance for my sensibilities. So thinking on it, and I thought about bending this and putting this out, but again, bending this stainless, and I really don't have the actual tools. I guess I could put this on a vise or maybe put it on my anvil and eventually pound it into shape. I thought it probably looked pretty ragged by the time I got done. So what I thought about is just flipping this over so that actually the piece came outward rather than inward, and just mounting this right on there. The bolt that holds this has an anti-vibration big ring on it, and I'm going to see if I can get that out. If I can get that out, put a longer bolt in it, and I'll right on through here, put a sleeve in here, and make this basically bolted together one unit. That way I'll be able to, once I weld all this stuff, have a thing, I'll just be able to slide on there and put the bolt on very easily with the horn and everything on it. And that should simplify installation, and it'll also beef it up a little bit. I'll have two of these. Though there's not a lot of weight involved with this, I just thought if I beefed it up a little bit, it would be fine. It'll give me clearance I want. I'm not going to worry that I'm probably going to have at least 3/4 inch clearance, so I won't worry about these things banging against the heads while I'm running down the road. And it should work out pretty fine. With this vertical unit, what I plan on doing is welding this piece here, which obviously then I will fit weld my rings onto as such, and there'll be, probably I'm going to drop this in. I have the spacing, so I'll probably drop it in about 1/4 inch so I have a nice fillet on each side, and it's a solid mount and everything. And this is about 1 7/8 by 1/8, so this is plenty heavy for this situation. I wouldn't go with anything heavier, but it's pretty well should work out. It's steady, it's solid, and it should form sound enough structure for these units. Having all the metal, once I get that all together, the important part, of course, was the fans. What I did is I found these fans, and they are made by Noctua. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize, but it's Noctua, and their site is www.noctua.at. This is their industrial PPC fan. The designation on it is NF Nancy Frank F Frank 12, and that's 12. It's an industrial PPC 3000 RPM fan. It's actually what they call PWM fan, which is like a pulse modulation fan. It's a 4-wired fan, and you can actually, in servers and computers, they can have these so that they'll vary in RPM, but in this case there's really no need. And for you to know that the blue, green, yellow, and black wire, the only two you need to worry about is yellow and black. The yellow is the positive 12 volt, the black is the common, and that's what you'd be wiring up to in a situation like this. When you do that, they're going to be full on, full off, so when you turn them on, they're going to be 3000 RPM, which is fine too. That's exactly what I want. These are putting out probably about 120 CFM, and that's way above what the now love jugs are, which are I think about 80 plus RPM. So you're going to have a much better unit here, putting out a lot more air over those heads and cooling them down. Information about this fan is all on the site. They give you everything, wiring thing. It's like rated for 600,000 hours. It has actually a little 3-phase motor in it, and silicon oxide, I think, bearing on it, which they also have a 6-year manufacturer warranty on them. So these fans are going to do it. They're going to last a long time, assuming something else doesn't go wrong or something doesn't go in there. Just so you know, that's on the site, but the air is going to come out in the same side as the little badge they have here, so that it's going to be coming out this way. So when you mount them, you want to know that. You have a square fan, and obviously that's not going to fit in this round pipe. What I did is, these little things come with it, are nothing but little bumpers. You take those right off. I cut this off with a saw, closest I could to this edge here. I don't know if you can see it, but maintaining the roundness of it. And I actually put it on my belt sander and sand it down. Obviously there's not much left of this frame, but this frame is so solid and so sturdy with all these veins and everything, that it makes no difference. This is very solid. It's a fiberglass impregnated. I only think it has some metal in it because when I was sanding it, the pieces were actually being attached to the magnet I had laying there. So anyway, you're going to sand this down quite a bit, but don't worry about it because you're still going to have to maintain a very solid structure here that'll work. And as I say, I would make sure you sand these down very slowly so they fit pretty snugly in here, so there's not going to be any vibration. You get a little bit of expansion and heat with this, but I don't think it's going to be a lot. But anyway, like I say, I'm going to make them so they fit pretty tightly. I'll put that ring on top of them, have it also tighten it against it to hold it in there. I don't really want them rotating. Like I say, if you feel worried about it, put a little dab of JB Weld on the steel and this, it should hold it in place, no problem. But as it is, these should work out fine. I paid $26 a piece for these, and you can probably find them similar price. You can find them higher price, obviously, but if you look around, I'm sure you can find them somewhere near that. I got them on eBay, and these are going to work out well, and hopefully the information I gave you here will be some help if you decide that you'd like to try making these. Other than that, I'm done with this, and I'm going to take these and put them all together and mount them and see how it goes. If you have any questions or if you really want me to set you up a set of plans, I mean, this is all straightforward stuff, just give me a buzz on the site or whatever, and I'll be glad to answer anything I can for you. And other than that, you have a good day.
Well, now you may think I'm fooling for the foolish